and I will be calling Artorius Dota 2. He'll be joining me relatively soon when he's done talking with the tacos. Alright, he's busy right now, so we'll have Artorius with us very soon. I'm not sure. He's currently talking with his team, so he'll be joining us in soon time. But that game was absolutely absurd. It was an absolute unbelievable back and forth Dota game. And I'm curious to see what Artorius is going to say about the series. I want to get a little bit of thoughts about that series from Artorius, who was obviously in the series, but that was absolutely unbelievable. Some real, unbelievable back and forth team fights there. Let's see, is there anything in the post game chat I missed? Winner's interview. Alright, we are headed on in to this next series now between not Toxic Tacos and Psych. Headed on to the series between Nexty and Apesimps. That was absolutely absurd. I am at a loss. I'm at a loss for words right now. That was unbelievable. We are now here for a different series between Apesimps and Nexty. If you were here for the 2-game series between Toxic Tacos and Team Psych, you are late. Tacos won 2 games, 2-0. They won that one 2-0. Now we are here for Apesimps up against Nexty. I'm just gonna look up the records real fast to see how stuff's going for both these teams. Apesimps are 3-1, so they're doing pretty well so far. I believe I casted one of those series. On the flip side, we got Nexty have done pretty well as well, but they've played very few games. Yeah, they're 2-0, so they need to play more damn Dota games. And I'm going to put this in the top of my screen. Let's go to teams real fast. Where's Tacos v? There's. Okay, we'll put this up for now. I'll put Tacos 2-0 Psych for those who missed it. Put it right there. Lastly, I'm now going to go into my match notifications and let's do Apesimps. Okay, so I can now be ready. We are now still in the draft. We have Axe Band, A Band, Hoodwink Band, not Hoodwink, Snapfire Bands, and Darkseer Band. I managed not to mix up Hoodwink and Snapfire all last Dota game. Of course, I had to make that mistake at some point today, so that's... I'm calling that one the inevitable mistake that was bound to happen at some point on this fine days. We are still waiting on Artorius to join, but he will be with us very soon. He's currently talking with his team in the post-game chat. That was I'm sure they're probably happy with the way that one went. And then once he arrives, I will get a fresh dose of water, head to the bathroom, because I drank a lot of water during that particular game of Dota 2. We do the Mars Lion combo, though, so we'll be seeing once again a Mars Lion combo, this time for Apesimps. Perhaps even inspired by the previous events of... I'm sure it wasn't inspired by Tacos, but very similar combo going on here. Lots of damage there with that Mars Spear, Finger, potential. So that should be a very good series, though. These are 2 very good Dota teams. Both teams have played very well so far this season. Nexty only have a 2-0. Apesimps are 3-1 meanwhile. I want to say...
And the spear is very long, has a lot of inches.
No, do not bring up that. I want to talk about the last Dota series. I don't care about this draft for a second. What the fuck just happened in the last Dota series?
I don't know. We should have lost like 10 times. We had no way to deal with Timbersaw, and they just, for some reason, took a fight. We chronoed and killed them. And they brought back on 4 heroes and gave us a win condition. There was also that one fight where I think I died and Mars died, and they just ran up as 4 onto our high ground and just got chronoed Cataclysm.
I was just...
I don't know what they were thinking. There's just a Faceless Void and an Invoker up on the high ground, and they're like, let's chase them, yeah.
I'm still so like shell-shocked from watching that Dota game. I'm gonna go get some more water. Feel free to tell people about that last series, what was going on comm-wise. Talk about the draft. I don't care. I'll be right back. Oh my lord.
Okay, I guess we'll go a quick recap of last series for people who didn't watch that. Why would you watch Choco's Dota? We suck. But anyways, game 1, I think we kind of just outdrafted it a bit. Hit an early game power spike and just ran at them. And then we had a Spectre who could join all the fights, which was nice. And our Spectre was very farmed. Hashtag Tint is a very good carry. In Tint we trust. And he kind of just carried the game off of our early aggression. Then game 2, they just had Timbersaw, who we didn't have an answer to because we're dumb and didn't draft an answer to it, I guess. Well, an early game answer to it. So he just ran at us for a very long time, and they threw off some team fights. I don't know what else to say about that. Our comms, we were pretty silent. We were like chickens with our heads cut off, but it felt like they were also chickens with their heads cut off in the way they were running at us. But anyways, today we have Nexty versus Apesimps, which is super hard to say, so I'm gonna just call them Apes. Totally not a reference to how DOS plays Dota, smile. But anyways, they're, I believe, let's see, I know Nexty's 2-0, beat the Tacos, but that's not very hard. Then we have Apesimps, who are 3-1. I believe they tied Team Psych, who we just beat 2-0. And they beat...
What paper do I have?
If Only You Were Older, I believe?
I need that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only other team that's doing with a loss. Other than us. Well, us as in Toxicants. So it should be a pretty interesting series. I think both teams have some very solid support players. They have some flashy mid players. And they have some Rice and carries. So they're going to clash heads on their playstyles here.
You look at like Levi on one team and Fawn on the other team. It's 2 of the best supports in Lads even. It's very good there. I mean, I am back. I am going to be eating my dinner though, so I'm going to mute my mic. I will. I'm sure I'll chime in temporarily here and there, but I have to eat my dinner real fast.
My amazing captain decided to schedule a game for 7. So I have also not eaten dinner because I'm a degenerate and wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I appreciate it was a 7. It means I can double header. I enjoyed the double header. You know, it's fun times.
Yeah, Mike thinks you're crazy for double headering. I also think you're crazy for double headering. I have no problem playing a game and then casting a game because I don't really talk during the game, I guess.
I know you don't. I know you don't talk during a Dota game.
I make some calls, but like it's not hard on your voice.
This is a good protein bar.
Oh, I see. At some point in the chat, Dennis said Artorius does not have emotions. That is true. Don't be fooled. That is not a joke. I've never showed emotion in my life.
I said initially, and then I walked it back because on a surface level, you don't show emotions. It's like It's like you show your emotions to about as many people as you show your genitals. It's a very small group. Like, unless you're in the inner circle of Artorius, you have never seen this man show an emotion. So I'm sure for most people out there, they have never seen you have an emotion. Either.
Clearly, you haven't seen my OnlyFans. I show my genitals to a lot of people. I do not have an OnlyFans.
Some Canada's finest rugby player. Go fuck yourself. Absolute degenerates.
No, I do show my thighs to a lot of people. As you said, I'm a rugby player, and we all wear short shorts when we play rugby.
Been there, done that.
I should probably mute your stream because I don't know when you're talking or when you're talking on the stream. I'm an idiot.
I'm trying to get some stuff in between bites of this protein bar. It's very fun.
Your dinner is a protein bar.
So I don't have time to. If you guys one game too faster, I could have had a real dinner. Instead, I have a Met RX Big 100 chocolate chip cookie dough flavor. It's pretty good, actually.
Do you want to know how much I hate this patch?
How much?
I messaged Snow before the game, and like, there's 3 heroes you can pick me. Fucking shit wink. You got Crapfire or Shart Willow. The 3 fucking supports I hate the most are the fucking meta shit. Why? I refuse to play those heroes, but I have to. Like, I just want to play some Pudge or some Spirit Breaker and not think about the game and just run in like a buffoon.
No, you must play the high damage ranged hero.
Yeah. Dude, I liked how... So, for context, I messaged in draft chat, I'm like, oh, we haven't been out-damaging the enemy team in any of our games this season. We should pick some more damage heroes next game. It's like, okay, yeah, let's pick some more damage heroes. We pick Viper, Snapfire, Dark Willow, and Slardar. Like, we just went, like, full no-brain, we are just only going to pick damage. We don't care about anything else. It was like, okay, I didn't mean we needed to do it this hard, but sure. Sure. Jakarta waking up at 4. I have done that before as well. In fact, I have woken up at 10 p.m. I used to.
Wasn't that like 2 days ago?
Oh, I did wake up at 4 2 days ago, yeah, but that's because... Oh, no, I went to bed at 4 p.m. because I was up for 27 hours.
I remember I was going to bed the other night at like 4 in the morning, and I saw you just get on Discord for the first time that entire night. I'm like, oh, hi, Artorius.
Yeah.
Hey, Badger, I just woke up. I need to study for my fire science thingy.
Yeah, I woke up at 4 a.m. before I had to go study for my ropes test, which 80% of people fail. Fun. I didn't fail. It's all good. Somehow passed that shit. But anyways, there is a Dota game that we should probably be talking about and not talking about my life story.
I finished my dinner. I'm ready to go. I ate my dinner. Full of protein. Alright, so we have... What do we got here? It was Sven... Well, what's up with the silencer pick here? Let's stop on the silencer pick.
I think that's actually a good counter to Mars. Something most people don't think about because, you know, it's not a very good hero right now, I guess, or it hasn't been picked up a lot, so not too many people consider it. But, you know, Mars blinks in and ulties, and if you're fast enough, you can just press Global Silence and you can't get a spear off. You'd have to BKB and then spear, so you'd have to like time your Global Silence to like BKB or Lotus or some shit and then spear somebody. So it's a good counter in that sense, but it's not a good counter in the sense that whoever he just ulted is still inside Mars ulti. Just like, sure, they might not be stunned, but they're still stuck inside a Mars ulti. And Mars ulti cooldown is like 60 seconds at level 3. I have no idea what Silencer ulti is. What, 2 minutes?
It's definitely. I don't know, but it's definitely. Well, actually, it's definitely longer. I know that much.
Let's see.
I'm looking it up right now. Where's the silencer? 1:30,
but it gets down to 100 seconds. But that's still 40 seconds where you could Mars ulti global and then Mars ulti like in the next minute. You have like another. Well, after a minute, you have another 40 seconds to ult again. So if you play around that cooldown correctly, it would be pretty good.
Oh no.
Alright, so is it a mid-Mars or a mid-Brood? It is a mid-Brood
I don't want to
against a mid-DK. Is that actually a counter now?
That's the most boring matchup in the world.
Like, typically you'd think, like, oh, you probably don't care on DK that you're laning versus a Brood, but now I think Brood doesn't care if they're laning against a DK, and it's the other way around, right? Because you just have the health regen, and you can just shit out damage on this guy.
I just came from casting Chronosphere Cataclysm combos, and I have to cast DK versus fucking Brewmother in the mid lane. Get me the fuck out. Actually.
Oh, it's an offlane silencer. That is interesting. I haven't. As the last person to run that Zai, I think? Where you, like, rush the Ags, you get that AoE silence. The only thing I'd be worried about is they have, like, 5 ways to get on top of you once they pick up a blink online, or if they don't pick up a blink, they might just go force staff. But that's still 5 ways to get on top of you. I guess they have this purge on Abaddon.
I mean, there's 4 heroes here who might buy a blink, though. Skater's probably going to buy one. Karan's definitely going to buy one. Fun's probably going to buy one, and Das is probably going to buy one. That's 4 blink daggers on top of the silencer there.
And then Brood's just fast as fuck. Like,
yeah.
There isn't really an item that you can buy to get away from Brood if they have, like, an Ags on Brood.
If you had to favor either of these 2 drafts, which would you pick and why?
I'm probably going to go with the Apes draft. As I said earlier, I'm just calling them Apes. I don't want to try to pronounce their whole name. That is just difficult.
You don't want to say Apes? Imps?
Yeah. But I'm probably going to go with their draft. I think it's a little bit more fast-paced. And I think scaling into the late game, they might not scale as hard as the Radiant, but they still scale good enough. I think the only thing they need to be wary about is if Brood gets off to a bad start, or if they manage to gank Das a few times before he picks up his shard, because they do have a silencer who obviously can lower the intelligence, and if he doesn't have full mana, he can drop below that threshold for his ulti, and they also have a Nyx Assassin for mana burn. Which, you think, Nyx Silencer, oh, that's good, you have a melee pause 4 to, like, stun, and then you have the range pause 5, but if you think about it, Silencer on your own team counters Nyx, because he steals the enemy intelligence, and then Nyx does less damage with mana burn.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a very roundabout way to do that, but it's also one of those problems where if you have that problem, you have bigger problems.
Yeah, if you're relying on the mana burn of Nyx to win you the game, you have a problem, yeah. Unless you're against a Deuce, in which case it just makes sense on why you're relying on the Nyx mana burn.
I think I like the Dire draft better, though I will have a caveat. I think if Vix plays optimally, then Radiant can win this game. I think a lot of this game is on Vix to play and farm very well on Sven. I think if his farm rotations are not perfect and he gets, say, caught out by a Tusk combo, then it's probably all downhill from there. But I think if Sven is a very good game, it should be a good game for Radiant. But I think Dire is an easier to execute draft.
Well, I think one thing to consider, we looked at one of these 1v5 drafts earlier. If you were watching the major, I think it was No Ping versus EG, where HFN just had like 6k over RTZ, let alone anybody else in the game. But it just didn't matter because he just got kited. And I think that might be a bit of a problem. Like, sure, like Wraith King can't really kite the Sven, but you have like a Hex, you have Brood just gonna run away, you have a Mars, you have Ice Shards, you have like all these stuns that you can kind of just throw at him. And even if he has a BKB, you can still get Blink Hexed and kind of screwed over that way. They don't. Well, they have 1 save. Yeah, 2. They have 2 saves.
Alright, the Apes say, you know what? We don't want to fight this. They have more heroes than us. We only have Skater and Fun. Let's just walk away. And there will be 2 bounty runes apiece. If you are just joining us, welcome to Game 3 of my 4-game Odyssey. We are now in a different series. We're no longer here. Tacos, they defeated Psych 2-0. Now we're here for Apesimps, aka the Apes, taking on the Nexty team. Unlike the last series, both these teams are winning records, and both these teams want to possibly secure the #1 seed. I am Badger. I am joined by the one and only Artorius, and you know what? Let's play some Dota.
Yeah. I think, talking a little bit earlier, though, if they do have this 1v5 play with the Sven, the game's going to be heavily on Global Silence and Levi's positioning with Aphotic Shields. Though they are starting a tri-lane top.
Yeah, they've had a fun, not show yet. He showed at the rune, I believe, but has not shown in any lane yet.
He probably showed under this observer ward.
Oh yeah, that ward. Yeah, that's obvious actually. So they know he's there. Noah's playing very far back right now.
They are, however, going to go on this Nyx maybe.
Yeah, that's a good two-man impale there. That's barely it's fun and barely it's skater on the opposite edge for both of them. Very good impale there by Treehard, right? Yeah, Treehard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to secure like this Wraith King's farm and maybe get a pick off. But the problem is the Abaddon is just chasing this Mars out of lane, and the Sven is 8 and 7 in CS compared to Wraith King's 5 and 2.
I mentioned now Vix needs a good start, and 10 and 7 at minute 140 is a very good start. Dear God.
And in the mid lane, it is pretty even so far. Breezy with the XP advantage due to the fact that there's a range creep not dead.
Wait, 1 second. I didn't put up the prediction thingy, no. Okay, let's just start it now. Let's just start it now. It's not too late.
Oh no. Alright, so this tri-lane is actually, while it's giving Vix a good start, it's starting to benefit the Dire a little bit. If we see the XP levels, obviously Mars's Radiant Creep Wave is getting close to the tower here, whereas Silencer's just level 1, and he's only halfway to level 2. He's getting completely zoned from the Creep Wave. Levi does pull to get this lane reset, but Karan's getting not too many CS, but he's getting a lot of XP.
Karan, not very happy regardless. I mean, if you're a Mars, you probably have a better lane than that. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going on Noah. They have the slows, they have that mana drain, and they will get the kill there. First blood will go to Fun there on that Tusk, so... They try lane for a long time, they finally get that first blood.
That's huge as well, because this is the one chance that Noah's going to get to farm here. And as you see, Triard's going to die for it, but he's trying to stop this pull. Oh, he actually lives. That was really huge by Treehard there. The Dire would have got a pull off, and Noah would have been very sad not getting any of these creeps.
Yeah, like, well, these side lanes have both been fairly interesting, actually. It's not what you normally see. Like, you see these 2v2s. We're seeing a 3v2 and a 2v1, so it's very different lane dynamics right now. Karan's got a lot of experience, but he's just so poor right now.
I think that's honestly fine on Mars, because as Snow said earlier, and during our game, he's like, man, this hero fucking sucks. He's like, I use 2 spells, and I have to either ferry out 3 mangoes, or I have to walk back to base. So all this Mars really needs is like a Blink Dagger and a BKB, and he's good to go. He can do his job. However, on the flip side, this Silencer needs a lot of items. Like, probably going to want this Witchblade. You're probably going to want a Force Staff to get away from Ice Shards and stuff. You're going to want an Ags, which is the whole reason why most people typically pick this offlane Silencer. So him not getting any farm could really slow him down, and he doesn't have a way to excel his farm.
Alright, Shards isn't there on Noah, so is Fire Blast. Noah and Silencer absolutely dead there. This is a great game for your safe laners to watch safe lanes win lanes, because both these safe laners are absolutely eviscerating their offlane competition. Karan, 6-1 up against Sven's 32-20. Doss, 26-9 up against Noah's 3-0. It's death to offlaners. Offlaners to lend est.
Yeah. And mid lane, pretty obvious, just a farm trade. Nothing exciting happening.
I've like tabbed in over at mid lane occasionally, and I haven't mentioned it because I don't want to. This is a creative decision just to not mention this lane existing. It's like every minute I look over for like a second, it's like, yeah, the same, they're farming. Let's go somewhere else.
Although it might get interesting now. Their siege creeps up, and both of them are about to hit level 6. So you might see one tower push, or you might see the other tower push. We'll see.
Do we know why the tips came out? I wasn't watching the Mars there.
I was looking at mid.
So was I.
So,
Both teams, though, tipped Karan, so clearly something went wrong for him.
I don't know. Maybe he salved and got it canceled or something. Although I don't think he had a salve, so maybe not. Maybe he just missed the last hit brutally or something.
Alright, we're seeing Nexty, a team who is known for unorthodox map movements. They're pushing the mid T1 tower as 3 in minute 6. Now in comes Fawn, in comes Skater. They're looking though for Ned. Snowball is there. Yes, Dragon Tail though, it's used onto Breezy, so Ned simply will walk away. Now they move to the Silencer. Silencer, very injured. Good stun there by Treeheart, but it's not enough to save Noah now. It's a 1-for-0 trade, despite a lot of abilities and heroes being committed to the lane. Big winner though is DOS.
Yeah, the offlaner died. But yeah, I think honestly that wasn't a bad idea from Nexty, and it's honestly like, yeah, it sucks that Noah dies again. But obviously you get a lot of damage on this tier 1 tower against a Brood, no less, the one who should be doing it to your tower. And obviously, like, you're not getting anything top, right? They're tri-laning you, they're trying to slow down your game, zone you out. So just go win somebody else's lane.
I still don't know why they're tipping. It happened again, but I still did not catch this. Top lane, though, we are seeing a stun there onto Tusk. Now, in comes the Abaddon, in comes Levi, but Fun still running away. Impale, yeah, still on cooldown, so. The classic walk away from the enemy and there's nothing to kill you anymore.
Yeah, I think Nexty have the right idea again now. Playing around the Silencer. You really need to get him some farm here. He needs to make his way back into the game, and that's not going to come from hitting jungle creeps. But Sven can obviously get into the game by hitting jungle creeps. Actually, already has a Midas.
Yeah, you don't really see this Midas on Sven very often. I guess when the game is as free as the one is for Vix this game, you might as well accelerate the farm. Top lane, though, we are seeing once again a jump onto Noah. Snowball is there, Shards is there, Tag Team is there, Wraith Fire Blast is there, though there's an Impale on too, so Noah's still alive. Now they turn to Fun, now the half HP, Abaddon has that silence, Income Skater, is there no spike in time? It's there on Levi, so no shield there for Levi, now Hex is there, Levi is quite low, but they now turn to Skater, but Skater walks away, and everybody walks away. Somehow nobody dies from all of that.
Very key stuns from both teams there, keep them alive.
It's one of those things too, where if the stun was like a tenth of a second later, it might trigger the Aphotic shield and get a kill there, right? Maybe?
Yeah, if he got a shield off, or if he even got a Miscoil off, it's 100 damage level 1, so it probably would have killed him.
I don't know the exact damage numbers in Abaddon, but I know they're somewhat large. I was like, is that a kill? Might be a kill.
I just got a message from the carry player of 5 Average Dudes, the one who I played 2 Nyx games against back to back, and said, yes, I now see how to beat offlane Nyx in the lane. Just try lane him with Tusk Lions, smile. I assure you, I still would have won that lane.
Oh, I was gonna say, that's big words for you to say to PMA there. Is he watching right now or something? Or I'm sure he is, actually.
I'm assuming so, because he just messaged me about this lane in this game.
Hi, PMA.
But no, the only reason why I would have won that lane is because there's no way that Snow would pick a hero that is as not tanky as Silencer.
Speaking of heroes who are not very tanky, it's Wraith King. He has Reincarnate, but he might need to lose level 1 Reincarnate right now. He's being run at by 3. He will lose it. Is there any help? Has not arrived, but apparently help is not needed. He will once again walk away.
Yeah, unfortunately, Impale is too long of a cooldown, so it was not up by the time he was reincarnating, so Radiant is back up.
Speaking of, if you're a fan of Hand of Midas, both carries have it. DOS has one, as does Vix, so it's a lot of Midas is going on in this fine evening.
Well, Midas is unironically not a bad fighting item for Sven. Not gold-wise, but in what it does. Obviously, Sven, very hard-hitting hero, so in order to increase your damage or DPS, you just want attack speed.
Yeah, it's a nice little 40 attack speed steroid, which obviously is not very gold efficient compared to what you could buy with it, but you know what? If you're going to buy a farming item anyways, if you don't want to buy, say, Mask of Madness, might as well, right? Looks like he's buying both, though. He'll be very heavily invested in these farm accelerants. But then again, so is Doss. He's headed for a Radiance, so one carry is going to farm accelerants, so is the other one. Meanwhile, mid lane, Water Punch is there on Ned. In comes that Margarita, in comes Spear. So now Karan gets involved in the game, leaves that bottom lane where he has suffered a lot, though he did finally get that the bot tier 1 tower. But as happens, though, the safe lane tier 1 tower in the top lane dies as well. 3 heroes were there with that siege unit, and there's a pause.
So that fight mid happens. They get Arena and Spear off. And the moment DK dies, 3 seconds later, Silencer hits level 6.
It's it's Dota 2 for you.
Like, that's gotta feel so bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's zero doubt that it's one of those situations where it's the entire idea, you pick the combo, counter the Marjorie, and it's, alas, your Silencer is so sad that he cannot get it off in time to save him.
Right, Badger?
Yes.
Do you agree? So you're a carry player, right? Do you agree that both of these carry players, who had absolutely free lanes, should have gone Midas?
I agree with Doss going for it, just get higher levels of Reincarnate. I'm less sure about the Sven, but I'm just going to trust Vix's judgment on it. I think I would have probably went Midas on the Wraith King, and I would not have went on the Sven. I probably went for the Mask into Echo on Sven, but I'm going to trust Vix.
Like 25 minutes?
Not like end, but it's one of those things where you probably want to like not go late this game on Radiant, right? I wouldn't want to go late on Radiance. That shit's scary.
Yeah, I guess both carries are assuming that their team has the late game. So I guess whoever wins this game will have made the correct judgment.
Well, it's one of those things where it relies on Silencer to A, not be a target in the fights, and B, time perfectly, and maybe if it's trusted and know it execute on the team fight. Still, as it happens, Water Punch is there mid lane on Ned. Fun though, is taking a lot of damage for that one. Respect though from Skater will ensure that Batman does not go down. Yeah, he will not go down.
And he's just the DD. You know, most support players are like, I'll just deny the DD. No big deal, right?
Well, Skater's like, he's a mid player.
Skater's a mid player. He's like, I want this DD. I want to hit some creeps.
He has 138 damage now. That's a lot of damage. Maybe he can deny a tower with that.
How much do you want to bet he's going to 70 damage town over 15 movement speed?
100%. Meanwhile, Gold Silence is there. The combo is there for the Radiance. Mars having a rough time. Meanwhile, though, in comes Breezy Yard. Oh, good 3-man stun there. 3-man combo from the Dire. Treeheart goes down. No time to that finger. They head over to Ned. Ned is slowed. Ned is further slowed. And he finally will go... Never mind. Levi kept him alive there with that shield damage. But in comes Ice Shards from long range. And the spear, the damage from the spear from Karan gets a kill on Ned. Now they have to Levi. Levi goes down as well. It's a full 5-man wipe.
Badger, it is a full 5-man wipe because the neutral creeps are playing for the Dire. They killed Vix.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't remember Sven dying there, but apparently he did, so...
You died to the hard camp stack. It wasn't even an ancient stack.
It's like, you know, you see 5 heroes, that's like the full 5-man wipe. I'm like, wait, Sven died? When did Sven die?
I just see Karan tip Sven, and I just look in the sidebar, and I'm like, what? He's dead to creeps? And you see Skater instantly run into the Dire triangle, and Radiant triangle, and start pinging the Ancient. He walks in and sees the Ancients are still full health, and I'm sure Skater was confused too. Turns out it was a large game stack.
I mean, I've been there on Sven. I've died to neutrals. It's a sad tale. But
I think everyone's died to neutrals.
Alright, bottom lane Sven is wiping spiders. Oh my.
800 gold by killing spiders.
Dude, there was so many spiders dying, so many gold attacks there. The game lagged for me. Did it lag for you?
No. My computer's amazing. Just kidding, it's not that good.
I was gonna say my computer's is pretty amazing too, but apparently not amazing enough to not lag there.
Your computer's probably better than mine. But yeah, they had the right idea. You know, Mars ultis, Silencer ultis, cat on fire. Yes.
I just want to like all chat. Can you not make my game lag by killing all the spiderlings at once? But it's fine. I'm sure it's it's okay.
But so they Silencer ulti, but the problem is there's still 4 heroes trapped inside of the Mars ulti. So they're stuck in like a 800 radius. Well, diameter, I guess. I don't know. Radius, diameter. How big is Mars Arena?
It
It's
is
probably
radius.
radius.
So
Yeah,
it would be an 1100 diameter if that was what you're gonna use there.
I was wrong on both accounts. So they're just stuck in there, and then obviously all the melee heroes get in. Tusk goes in, Brood goes in, Wraith King goes in, Lion can just freely sit there and throw in spells because nobody can walk through Mars ulti to hit him. And it just doesn't matter. And then with this Vanguard pickup from Karan, he was just unkillable. He just kind of sat there and tanked all the damage.
Man, I'm so sad. I was trying to like draw out the stuff that was happening in the team fight as you're saying it, but I can't do it during the pause. I couldn't like draw my lines of like, hey, arrows and X's and stuff. It was. I'm so sad right now. They need to implement drawing stuff in the pause, so I can just like diagram stuff. Like, that's the you gotta do.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like Sven has recognized that his team has 0 kills. And if they want to win a fight, he needs to be in it. Obviously, Silence are a little bit underfarmed due to the tri-lane. So Sven, recognizing I need to be in these fights, he has gone Mask of Madness, Echo Saber, and is looking to pick up a Blink Dagger next. Whereas the Wraith King is going for Radiance, recognizing, hey, I can just pick up a Radiance, show up to the team fight just by being near it, or if my team fights near a tower. So these two carries games are going to become very different looking very soon.
I think that that blink tying point is probably going to be the big point for Vix, because he'll have his blink before DOS probably has the Radiance. And even then, DOS probably needs like another item on top of the Radiance to really be in the fights and want to be there. That'll be a big point for Radiance to just start owning, whereas, hey, we have this Sven hero with 4 items. Sure, the 4 items suck, but it's still 4 items. And then Dire won't be there yet. Questions can, like, say, get Roshan, possibly even go high grounds, or is it just maybe get, like, outer tier 2s at that point? I can easily see them, like, going into the Roshan pit, getting outer tower, outpost, outer tower, and outer tower. But
Go get food at 10, right? Somebody has to stop nuclear launch. Oh, religious pause. Right. Yeah. We do have religious pauses for TK as well.
I was going to say, we're aware of that one, where it's, I'm assuming Karan is Central Time in that case? I think he has to be Central Time. If I had to guess, trying to think, like, latitude-wise, he'd probably be somewhere near, like, the 36th parallel, given the exact time it would be.
Okay, you don't need to dox the guy here, come on.
I mean, that's... if I had to guess, it'd be, like, the eastern end. I mean, like Memphis. Memphis make a lot of sense based on the latitude and the longitude, based on the time of the sunset. I'm sorry, this is, like, really autistic, but I have to do it. I've spent way too much of my time studying this stuff to not know it. Apparently, the other game's also in a pause, because Killer Cardi's in my Twitch chat right now, and he's literally casting another series. So, if you came to join us because the other series is paused, well, bad news! We're also paused. Luckily, ours is now over, so we will return to action. But seems like everybody is composed, everybody is okay and good to go. So it's
we have the Brood going the magic build with auras.
Yeah, that's has that Guardian Grief soon. We'll head into a Kaya, into an E-Blade, into what I'm assuming is a Dagon, so that's something.
I've seen this Brood build into a Timbersaw, and it worked really well. So I'm assuming into a DK it's probably just as good. If not, maybe better. Depending on when this DK picks up a BKB. Or even an Ags actually might slow down that build. But DK has now picked up his Blink Dagger. Nyx is now level 6. There's level 6 on the Abaddon. No big item pickup for Silencer yet. However, I think with this 6 and the Blink Dagger on DK, they might look to take a fight. or at least defend the tower. Because that is bot tier 2 dead. I'm sure you don't want to lose your mid tower at this point. That's going to be huge for the Radiant, however. If Dire go and take this outpost, which they can do. They have vision over the entire jungle. They haven't taken it. Probably just a little bit of an oversight.
All right, bottom lane, they're going in onto Breezy-R, but Breezy-R is a broodmother, so she is... That is anticlimactic.
Brood doesn't care a silencer, just has Guardian Greaves.
It's like the, it's literally, it's like nothing ever happened to her. She's full HP, full mana again, pretty much.
And that was also the Blink Dagger reveal on DK.
But they actually use more on Ned to not get the kill. Meanwhile, though, Vix goes in onto Skater. Stun is... Oh, my lord. Dual Silence is there. Skater now dead. Fun now dead. But it is only 2 supports, but it is indeed time to run away. They've used the God Strength and the Global Silence. Let's just...
Sits there on the front line just like, I'm gonna suck your man.
Some Skaters taking the abilities for his team right now. I mean, this... A wise man once said not to flex out Skater and lose, and I think, Skater's feeling right now.
It's okay, I'm allowed to laugh at him. I played on a team with him for 2 seasons. I feel like this is another one of those games where, like, Skater's just gonna ping me. Like how, I think it was Jackson pinged me. And it's just gonna be a ping in general chat, just gonna be Artorius. Fuck you. There's gonna be no context for anyone who didn't watch the cast, but it's gonna be fantastic. And then Guam or you are just gonna be like, fuck you, you bagged milk motherfucker. And
I'm leaving you alone tonight. I'm actually pretty tired right now. It's like I can't just start insulting my co-commentator.
Imagine being tired. It's only 10 o'clock. I've only been up 8 hours.
God damn it. Okay, let's see here. What are the Dire up to? They are grouping again. Everybody but Breezy-R is there in middle lane. Let's see what DOS has. DOS has that finished Radiance, headed for an AC next. Fun. Looks for Neb, but Neb blinked away now. Mars Arena is there. Spear is there onto Neb, but in comes the Impale. Hits on 2. Earthspike is there onto Treeheart Finger as well, but Treeheart is still alive. Levi stuck a Mistcoil and a shield on Zol. Meanwhile, in the backlines, though, Breezy-R does finish off the kill on Treeheart. Now Snowball's there onto Neb, but Neb blinks away. Fun will be under that tower. Might go down here, but is still alive thanks to Guardian Greaves. Now, God's Rebuke is missed. In comes Vix. Has a stun there, but it's only out of Karan. Now turns to Breezy-R. Breezy-R still alive. Meanwhile, Ned is being run up by Dawson Skater. He's still alive. Fun dropping low. Ned dropping low. Fun goes down. Ned still 1/3 HP. He does low DK, so he is going to be fine. Now, Breezy-R still in the backlines. Actually looks for Noah, but in comes Vix. Has that stun. Breezy-R overextended on that one, and there's no escapings. For the side of Nexty, it's a fight win.
Yeah, huge fight for them. The fight started, and Sven was still 50 gold away from his Blink Dagger. So he's probably sitting there screaming at his team, like, get back, get back. TP's to base, buys that Blink Dagger, and jumps in with a huge 2 hits and scares the Dire right off. However, we see a really good play from Treeheart. The DK gets gone on. Wraith King goes to run in, and you now see why Nyx counters Radiance, because he just stuns Wraith King from halfway across the map.
We're seeing as well, timing-wise, Vix is, he's ready to go. He's ready to fight, but, DOS, not yet. He is not ready to go just yet.
Well, I think DOS is ready to fight, but he's at the point where he doesn't really want to be the first one in still. Obviously, only 1500 HP, because you're a Wraith King, who only has damage and farming items.
He's got that buckler. Gives him +1 armor.
Yeah, but I think he'll probably want to wait for this AC, and maybe even a halberd or something after that, before he really wants to just sit on the front line like an idiot. And
could be a BKB as well after that AC, potentially.
Yeah. Imagine playing Wraith King and just pressing your "that was easy" staples button every time you use your stun.
That's... I need that now. That sounds like a fun time, you know. Just,
You don't even need a keyboard. You just "that was easy" and then just click the enemy with a stun.
Just have that button bound to Wraith Fire Blast. Got the idea there?
Yeah, and you don't need anything else for your keyboard because you don't have any active items. You're a Wraith King.
And you have the skeletons. You could probably just... Skeletons is like
that with your mouse.
You can just click that with your mouse, actually. Yeah.
When do you need to, like, quickly press Vampiric Spirit.
I need the Vampiric Spirits! Alright, they have the Breezy-R, or perhaps not. He escaped the smoke gank because he is very fast. Now in comes Ned, has a stun, in comes Vic, has another stun. Stormbolt is there, and Breezy-R will go down there on that Broodmother. Breezy-R almost escaped there with that, the overwhelming move speed advantage, but apparently Blink Daggers makes it, not a big deal. So that's Breezy-R once again caught out there, this time in the jungle. And now Nexty are in a pretty good spot, even though they're literally down by 3k gold. They have the heroes to fight. But, if they slip up, this game is very hard for Nexty.
Well, fortunately for the Brood, he shoved the wave out before he died. So the Dire are only able to get a tier 1 out of that, unable to push into the tier 2. So that does slow down Brood's game, but the rest of the Dire are probably okay with that.
Okay, question of the day is, what do Nexty do to win this Dota game?
I think Vix has the right idea. Like you said, they probably don't want to go late game against this Dire draft. He's looking to pick up this BKB. Then he probably just wants to run in and deck somebody in a fight. You know, probably take out the Lion very quickly, or the Tusk, anyone who's capable of disrupting these fights. He personally probably doesn't want to go on the Wraith King.
Use the Midas! Vix, use the Midas! Thank you. So I was watching him for like 20 straight seconds there, like, it's like I like an inner aneurysm as a carrier player, like, use the Midas!
I saw him in the Radiant jungle camp there in the mid lane, just didn't use it, and then just ran all the way top. But yeah, they probably just want to try to ignore this Wraith King. And I think as Wraith King, you need to recognize that you need to be tanky enough that you can trade with Sven. But you need to be like fast enough that you can't just get kited. But I think Wraith King doesn't really care who he goes on, he just needs to be hitting somebody.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have that much survivability and second life. As long as you're hitting somebody, you'll probably win the fights eventually.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to be Vix here, because you need to actually like go on the right person. Well, also, yeah, anybody works.
Well, I really like their draft with this, the Mars Wraith King, because if Mars just catches anyone in his ulti, and they can't really be kited.
Alright,
Smoke broke
in comes stun there, onto, he misses onto the Broodmother, only hit onto the Spiderlings. They now head over to Fun. Fun will go down. Question is, can they find more than a Tusk? The answer appears to be no, unless Ned perhaps can blink onto Skater, but Skater has a blink of his own, so he should be fine here.
He has picked up a BKB on the DK now.
What is Skater doing?
Skater stops moving and taunts. And I believe he is now dead.
Skater?
Radiant now go into Roche. Don't flex on Skater and lose.
Apparently the inverse also is true, where don't flex as Skater and lose. Alright, now we're seeing a fight once again. DOS is going, and in comes Karan as the Mars Marina there. On to 4. Reincarnate is popped by back there from Skater. In comes Volch Punch there onto the BKB. Vix is still fighting. Great shards there from Fun. Problem is Karan's on the arrow side. He will go down there on that Mars. In comes Skater. Good stun there onto 4. Snowball will stun as well. Finger comes in onto Levi, but the... oh, God. Borrowed time is there. Fun is dead. And now it's back into the Roshan pit. Vix is hitting. Noah is hitting. Aegis of the Immortal will head over to, I'm assuming Vix will go to Vix. And as that happened, Breezy-R was shoving in the bottom lane, but could not get too much damage high ground, so...
Yeah, that's a little bit of a weird one. DOS goes in, throws a stun to stop the TP, because he wants Breezy to be able to hit this tower. But then he kind of just gets jumped by all the Blink Daggers, and is in a very precarious situation where he dies, and has no method of escape with 4 heroes on him. So Karan's like, alright, screw it. I need to sacrifice my life to get DOS out. So they get him out, and then they re-engage.
Alright, they head on to Breezy-R once again. Bottom lane Spiderlings are not caught, but Breezy-R is being chased down, though. Never mind, it's a Broodmother. Very fast move speed, unless Treeheart can stun that man. Vendetta is there. Is there a Vendetta hit? Is there an Impale? Yes, it is there. Is there a follow-up stun? Yes, it is. Stormbolt comes in from Vix. And Breezy-R, they have put a lot of effort into killing the Broodmother, though it has been successful. That's, what now, the 3rd death on Breezy R, all of them in the last like 9 minutes or so. So
I think the problem with the way Radiant are playing though is obviously this Brood is probably pissing them off right now, just constantly shoving in the spot wave. Like they have Aegis, they just want to take team fights, but they keep blowing God Strength to get like a pick off, and it's slowing them down. This Wraith King's eventually going to come online. He is now going for another damage item. So we'll see how this goes. I feel like he might just get blown up in these fights right now, but they're not really to shove. They're not really able to shove waves with Broodmother alive. But now with Broodmother dead, there's no God Strength. So if I'm Dire, I'm thinking I'm taking this fight if they shove one of my towers, because there's no God Strength for 30 seconds. And if you shove your waves out before that, then they'll need to shove them back in and waste more time on that Aegis.
well, they lost their creep blade bottom. They'll head mid instead, but the creep blade is still alive. Fun has a Wash Punch there onto Neb. That might cost them his life. And Dragon Tail stun is there. Noah is hitting. Fun is dead. Now in comes Vix. Has a stun there on DOS, but it is DOS. Mars Marina is used perhaps for DOS to retreat. Or perhaps try to isolate Vix. Vix has Aegis and BKB. BKB is used to now head with the Gold Silence over onto Skater. Skater's certainly dead. Now they have 2 DOS. DOS has Reincarnate, but they might try to kill him twice. There are only 3 heroes alive on the side of the Dire. Mars Spear was used on Ned, but just to keep Karan away from the DK. And now Reincarnate is back. DOS. Yeah, he's been being hit by the Vendetta active. He's being hit by Electrix. And he will kill Levi, but that is not a good trade for the Dire. The Spider-Man came in, tried to kill Treehard. Now Vix, never mind. That's going to cost Breezy R's life as well. Looked for a play in the backlines there, tried to maybe isolate a hero like Vix or Treehard, but instead he got caught out once again by the stuns there, and it is a 4-for-1 engagement in favor of Nexty. We were asking questions like 10 minutes ago. What's the plan for Nexty to win this game? They're down by about 3k gold. Well, now it's a 4k net worth lead. They're up by 4 kills, and it's still lead is for a minute and a half.
I'm just surprised by DOS's item build again a little bit. He's picking up an MKB, but I don't think anyone has any evasion, do they?
No.
I feel like he just needs a tanky item. Like, just go with a halberd or something, and you just get on top of the Sven, and you just out-trade him.
I think the idea behind the MKB is to pierce the armor on Radiance, kill the DK maybe, but I'm not sure why he's prioritizing killing the DK there. There's a lot of armor between the Dragon's Blood and the Warcry. Maybe that's the idea there for the MKB on DOS. That's the only thing that makes sense, because there's no reason why you buy MKB other than like trying to burst through the armor. And maybe he's thinking, hey, this armor shit is not very fun. I will instead have this this armor-piercing... well, what is that thing even called, the MKB Pierce? That's called Pierce. The armor-piercing Pierce. Mid lane, though, Glow Silence is used. They are headed onto Skater, and well... yeah, Skater's very dead.
Breezy's gonna get hunted down by this Ags on DK.
They have a Blink on Vix as well, and he has a double damage still onto Sven. Now in comes Ned, has Dragon Tail, down goes Breezy R once again, and now it's possibly high ground time, though their creeps are not cooperating, so now the Aegis being gone, it probably will mean that there will be no high grounds. Quite yet.
Karan's just gonna go cut the next wave again. You have Tusk in the bot lane just shoving this down. There's just no creeps, they have to go top.
It's one of those things where if the Apesimps end up winning this Dota game, I am 100% putting it on the feet of this lane pressure they put on this game. They've applied so much lane pressure. They've been so annoying where it's hard for Nexty to push.
They don't have a splitting team other than Brood, but they're even with Brood dead, they're still splitting.
They have the split push Tusk and the split push Mars, and they're high grounding bottom lane now. Nexty have to respond to that.
Well, right now they're responding with a glyph, but that's not going to last very long.
This is beautiful macro play from Apesimps here.
They might catch DOS.
Oh, once again, that's so close, and Karan TPs as well. That's just
I wonder if he would have caught him if he carapissed the Radiance. But he probably just saw a TP and threw a stun, not realizing it was Wraith King.
The interval is 1 hit every second, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean, right? Like, so this, and hindsight is always 20/20. But like, I wonder if the spiked carapace damage tick, because it's instant to cast spiked carapace, so you could have thrown both at the same time. I wonder if the spiked carapace would have been faster than the travel time of Impale.
I think there's like a 1 in 3 chance it triggers, knowing what we know. Cause I think there's about like a third of a second window between Nyx blinking in and DOS TPing out. If the Radiance procs every second, and it's hard to tell sometimes. It's one of those things where we have the information and they don't. It's a hard play to make in the moment.
I'm not saying he made a wrong play or anything. It just would have been interesting to see if it would have actually stopped the TP or not.
I'm like trying to do the math on that one. Like, would it have worked? What's the percentage chance it would have worked?
This is crazy.
All right, it's high ground time. God's Strength is used, but as that happens, Dire push in top lane. They push in mid lane. DOS may attempt to go high ground, but the mid rack's already dead. And now Ned, he's hitting tier 4s. In comes Vix. He's hitting the tier 4s as well. Apesimps, they're not in their base at all. Treehard's being gone on. Margarina was used, but he's still alive. Meanwhile, the tier 4s, they're being sieged. One of them's dead, almost half HP. In comes Dosky, TP's in, but he's already lost his reincarnate. Now, in come the rest of the Apesimps. They're trying to fight. Wilhelm's though is used. DOS, he's damaged, but not dead. They have the Karan. Blink is there from Vix. Karan now dead. They had 2 Fun. Fun's now dead. They need to buy back on Mars and on the Lion. Now they head to Breeziar. Breeziar dies as well. Godlike for Noah. They head to DOS. There's no reincarnate. He's trying to fight, but he's being kited around by Ned. Now, Glyph is used, trying to keep that tier 4 still alive. Hex is there onto Ned. In comes Karan. Has that spear, but in comes Vix. Has that stun. There on Karan. There'll be a dieback on that Mars. They head to Breeziar. Breeziar will die as well. He has no buyback. And they head to RT4. RT4 is dead. They head to the Ancient. This is a lost game. And Vix all chats call it. DOS goes in onto Treehard. Reincarnate once again popped, but DOS cannot fight. He is not strong enough. He will get kited around. He will die to Noah, and the Ancient will go down. What just happened?
I think Nexty, a little bit angry with the split pushing, just said, "Fuck it, I'm going down mid." That's exactly what they did. Dire had already used Arena, and that's the entirety of their team fight, and just not quite ready to fight. And Radiant recognized that and end the game.
I'm getting some good Dota tonight, man. I'm happy to be here. This is some good Dota too. I mean, that's
there's been a lot of BM today in lads.
I was mentioning that with Aurora actually, regarding the stuff going on between primarily Shrek and Whole City. Get that going on. Now you got this going on. It's funny. So we were talking last night, and we saw in the Snow Discord, Joker just was complaining about a lack of lads drama, and within 24 hours, that is proven to be so unequivocally false. No, I mean, the funny part is he doesn't even involve. He calls none of this, and yet it's just popped up. The drama has blossomed. It's been underground burrowing, and now it is sprouted. Spring is here on the lads drama.
Yeah. You know, much to say about who is in the right or who is in the wrong in the lads general chat drama, because I obviously was not in the game. To put it into perspective, I had Shrek pre-muted before I knew who he was. He has now been unmuted, and I haven't had a problem with him since. I don't even remember when I did have a problem with him. I don't even know who he was. I don't even remember what happened. But I have not had a problem with Shrek since. But I have Hull City pre-muted now, even though he's on my friends.
This is just...
I think it was the game where he just paused right after a team fight. And then he just started playing it off. He's like, "Oh, it's an accident. It's an accident." I'm like, very convenient accident from someone who is known to BM pause. So obviously, I don't really believe that. And then he started talking to me in all chat because I think Snow and him were going back and forth. And I'm like, no, I don't need to be a part of this.
Actually, it's funny. You mentioned these two other things with drama. We actually might have a third one as well. Aurora may have spawned drama with Victor, potentially. I'm seeing an and-I quote, a anger emoji, and a baby emoji. That is possibly a third now. If we're doing like the 3-ring circus, we found our third ring of circus. It is the Aurora Victor drama. This is it's a great day for Laz drama. If you're a fan of if you have like some like Orville or Redenbacher popcorn perhaps to pop, now is the time. You pull it out. You enjoy the, how do I put it? The cascading of shit being flung. This is sort of like verbal spatting going on. You know, I forgot to use that Artorius. I'm supposed to write down when interesting stuff happens, so I can make like a highlight thing later, but I've not done that for the last 3 games, so.
Haven't done what in the past 3 games?
I was supposed to like write down the timestamps of when good stuff happens to save myself time later, but I did not bother. At all. Am I gaming? I am gaming. I am most certainly gaming. I am waiting on game number 2. Gonna.
Oh god. So Vix posted general chat, sorry at DOS, it's not personal heart, can't hold in the toxicity. DOS says, well, stop it. If you can be mannered and not toxic for this game, I will forgive you, with a hug emoji. And Smiley of all people says, fuck it, bro, lean in.
Oh my lord, that's a perfect person to say that to, actually. Yeah, we don't have enough we don't have enough heals and lads yet. We need another one in Vix.
Dude, this is why I play in this league.
He's even in the Artor guild too. He's literally in the Arteezy guild.
Man, I have no problem with drama when, you know, it's like flame of other people, you know, and obviously if it's personal or anything, but if you're just kind of like chirping back all game, tipping or voice lining or whatever, and you know, like you get some and you give some, whatever. I just don't get the fucking people who actually hate each other because of it. It's like, yeah, sure, if you don't like participating in the tipping or voice line, just mute the guy or ignore the guy on Steam, whatever, who cares? But like the people who like get it all personal and they're like, fuck you, like I hate you, why'd you're a piece of shit, and then the other guy is just like, nah man, you're a piece of shit. They just go back and forth with like some very hurtful comments on like, you're a piece of shit. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head. I don't get those people. It's a league. Just have fun.
This is a Dota community, sir. Are you sure about that one?
This isn't hockey. It's not like I'm telling you I'm going to put you through the boards next shift. Like, come on.
The thing is, you expect that though. You expect you expect violence in hockey. You don't expect verbal exchange. Actually, I guess you do at this point expect verbal exchanges in Dota.
This isn't a contact sport. We're halfway across the country. We're in different countries than each other half the time.
That's what we need. We need for lands of Dota, we need like inter-game brawling. You know, it's like coin flips have to be like a 1v1 brawl.
Dude like denies the mid-range creep on the first wave, tips him. The other guy throws down his headset, climbs over the fucking desk, runs over to the other box, just starts fucking drop kicking the guy or something.
Remember that you young enough to remember the old what was it called? I think it was the WCS. It was like an American thing back in like 2008 where they had different esports, and they had the two teams were like literally like 5 feet from each other, and that'd be a good setup where you have both teams playing there like 5-10 feet away from each other. So hop over the computer desk like, yes, we're fighting now. This is time to brawl.
It'd be amazing.
But suddenly, I mean, Team Secret's already a good team, but suddenly they're just they're even a next level team at that point. I mean, Puppy's a large man, and he's clearly willing to punch things. So it's
Yeah.
I'd be very scared if I were
an inanimate object in front of him. Yes.
if I were an animated object in front of Puppy, I personally wouldn't be scared. But if I were the average Dota pro, I'd be pretty scared. There's a lot of Dota pros who are like 5'5", 110. Puppy is like what 6'7", 230. I'd be it'd be a slaughter.
Oh god, Aurora clipped me of when I said I had Shrek Premium in Hall City.
Dear God, are we spawning war last show? Just dude. I mean, Hall City at least won't respond now because he's busy casting, but. That's future use problem right now. Oh dear God.
Dude, I don't care if people flame me. I have 100% heard worse no matter what somebody can say something to me.
Alright, so we are
Get me out.
We are headed in now for some more Dota 2. This is my last Dota cast of the evening, finally. We have arrived. How's my water doing?
Hey,
I need more water.
They marked the win. Smile.
I'm extremely excited. I mean, that's... Who was the hosting? Was it DOS or...
Yeah, DOS.
DOS is a big brain individual, you know. He's cognizant. He pays attention to things around him.
Yeah, look at the marked win, Badger.
On the correct side, too. Fuck! No! Why? I hate lads
DOS,
so much.
Great individual marked the win.
Oh my lord! Oh.
Either that, or it's the visual bug. I don't know which one it is, but it is not on the correct side.
I was so excited. You got my hopes up.
I did type in the lobby chat, DOS, could you mark the win, please, so Badger will not have a heart attack.
Well, he marked a win, but not the win. Why?
So instead, Badger is now currently getting out of his hot tub on his fragile knees, which have now snapped. He had a heart attack and flipped over the edge of the tub. Unfortunately, DOS, you have killed Badger.
Oh, thank the Lord.
He will thank you for it. I don't know if Lads players will thank you for it. You have seemed to be casting a lot of games.
It's not like what do you mean casting Lads games? I cast no Lads games. It's not like I've casted for the last 3 hours and 10 minutes straight for Lads.
Although you pretty much casted most of the games last season, but it seems other casters are now casting Lads games. You might have competition for the finals.
I'm happy I got two of my... there's two peers who I respect. I've been casting a good bit of Lads recently. Obviously, Kill Karate, Map of Edition. Good to see those two casting a good bit.
You heard it here first. Badger does not respect any other casters.
No comment. I'm getting some more water. I'll be right back.
Yes, no comment. Tactical no comment. Alright, so we see some meta picks coming up from both teams. At least I think Lena's meta. I think I heard it was being played mid quite a bit. Although I have a feeling they will not be putting it mid against a Nyx assassin. That might be a little bit rough. Might be seeing it on 4. Although it will still be rough there, I would presume. Especially into a Warlock. Your kind of whole deal as pause 4 Lena is you harass. Can't really harass a guy who just buys clarities and spams heal on his carry. You can probably out-trade him. But if you're the Warlock, you just don't trade with them. This time, the Apes go for the Dragon Knight. Nexty being the ones who played it last game, and they put it mid. So typically this is a 3 or mid flex. I don't know if Karan or Breezy play this hero more often than the other. So I don't know where they would personally like to have this. It is a good offlane duo in Lena Dragon Knight, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it there. Yes, Casey. DOS is big boomer. And yes, Killer Karate. Fuck MX Squire. I just scheduling a game at 7. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm down bad.
5 seconds remaining.
Right, so we see Silencer and Sven ban, and Abaddon ban, all picks from last game. On the flip side, Nexty banning out Spectre. Obviously, Nyx doesn't do anything to Spectre anymore with the removal of Break, and Spectre very good at getting on the back line against Warlock. We also see a Respect ban of, I believe, Karan's Axe. Actually, do they flex that mid? I'm not sure. Because I know Breezy plays a few unorthodox heroes mid, as well as normal mid laners. They ban out AA, as well as Apesimps banning out Snap. Both of those kind of just meta heroes.
Hopefully,
see a
Burke
Dark
has not
Seer
got
ban.
me banned from Twitch.
That is a Noah hero, and it does pair well with Nyx. Wonder if they plan on picking a illusion hero like PL to go against Nyx and Warlock.
Okay, what do we got here? Got some Dragon Knight gaming again for this actually different team this time. Going to go on the side of Apesimps. Got a Warlock. That's a 6-7 pick Nyx Warlock. Interesting.
Badger just comes in here, cuts me off, ruins my amazing analysis.
Isn't that what I always do?
No, I didn't have amazing analysis. I just only made one prediction.
I was gonna say, isn't that what I always do then?
Yeah. So they banned the Noah Darkseer. So I'm assuming they're going for a illusion hero with these bans.
Honestly, two of the big ones are already banned in the TB and the Spectre, but PL still available if that's what I want to go for. If I were Nexty, I would have the PL on the mind.
They do ban out the DOS Terrorblade and Faceless Void, assuming those are respect bans. I guess Warlock Nyx aren't very good into Terrorblade, but they're okay into Faceless Void. They pick up the Viper to counter the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, apparently they don't want the DK to be as successful as when they played it, so it's like, alright, just break the passive.
I think this might be an offlane Viper, unless they know the DK is going mid, and then they might flex it to mid.
It's one of those things where they have the 24 picks, so they can just wait on it, you know? They can grab their carry at 17 and hold the mid offlane. Like, it's what you guys did tonight, actually. You guys
I don't know anybody else who did that one.
You guys literally did it with the Viper too, bro. Me and Aurora thought it was probably going to be the offlane pick, but ultimately you guys had 24 pick. You stuck it mid and you put the Slardar offlane. The Slardar pick was very good, so it worked out for you guys. But next you can do a similar thing where they will... at this point, Apesimps probably grabbing a support here at 16 and a carry at 18. Which means at that point you can say, alright, is Viper going to lane better into this? Who's going to be laning into? What's his best lane situation? So it's nice for them, you know?
It'd be good to see an Oracle coming out for Apes. It's a little bit rough into Nyx. However, it kind of counters Viper in lane. Viper kind of wants to just throw 5 stacks on your carry and then dive him under tower, and if you can kind of just purge that or just remove all of the damage dealt, it's pretty good.
They could always take a page out of Nexty's book and go for the Abaddon. Never mind, it's banned.
It's banned. And Oracle can also obviously purge off Fatal Bonds. Instead they go for Dazzle. Be interesting to see if this Dazzle picks up an Ags and purges Fatal Bonds off everyone on his team with one spell.
It's a fantastic idea. Problem is it's going to be a 5 Dazzle, so perhaps he won't get the farm he needs to do that early, but...
You don't know. It could be a 5 leaner. It could be a mid Dazzle. You don't know.
Okay, so assuming this 5 Dazzle is a 5, then it's one of those things where it's a really good hard counter to this Warlock. You have the Grave, obviously. You have the AoE Purge with the Shadow Wave if you get that Aghanim Scepter. You have the Ag Shard as well. Could potentially counter on one of these illusion heroes if that's on the field here.
Somebody seems very adamant that this pause 2 dazzle is pause 5.
I'm just trying not to acknowledge what you're saying. I'm hoping if I just don't acknowledge it, you'll move on from it. That's the hope, at least, you know.
I don't know. Pause 3 dazzle seems like a pretty good pick this game.
Okay, we're going into the facepalm. I'm done caring. You caught me when I'm very punchy.
Go. Just reduce the enemy armor. Who cares magic resistance on Viper? You have armor reduction. Kill him with physical.
Do I have time to eat more food? Yeah, I have time to eat more food.
I'm just gonna wait at this point and have dinner at like midnight.
That's probably
I'm
a
just giving up.
good idea.
I'll have only eaten 2 pepperettes in the entirety of 10 hours.
A what? A pepperette?
Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you call it? Pepperoni sticks?
If it's a stick of pepperoni, then I guess so, yeah.
It's not pepperoni, though. Other meat.
Speak of meat stick. I don't know.
The pepperette. It says right on the goddamn container badge.
I guess like a Slim Jim would be the colloquial way to say it, but
What a Slim Jim is.
okay, I think we figured out whatever you call it in bagged milkland, it's a Slim Jim in Freedom Land, apparently.
Badger, how do you pronounce roof?
Roof.
You don't say rough like the idiots in the south?
Do you think I live there? I live north of you.
Who says rough? It's a fucking dog noise.
Artorius, I live north of you.
Do you live north of
I think so, yeah. We have very similar latitudes.
I do live very south of Gavin.
And I live very north in the USA.
I'd like to live more north because the moment it hits like 20 degrees, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt saying, why is it so fucking hot outside? Okay, sorry for all you Americans out there. When it hits 75 degrees, I think it's too hot outside.
Imagine having a logical temperature system. That's for the world. We can just flex our might by using an arbitrary Fahrenheit system. Just good to be American.
Hey guys, what should we base our temperature system off of? Why not salt water, guys? Yeah, 32 freezing temperature. No, why don't you just use 0? Like what?
So salt water is very it's very important, okay? If you were American, you understand.
Imagine just going outside and saying, it's 114 degrees outside. How are you not dead?
Oh no, if you're in 114 Fahrenheit, you're pretty dead.
Oh yeah, I had to play 7th in that shit. That's not fun.
Alright, I'm gonna go eat some more protein bar. I'm gonna mute my mic temporarily, but if you say stuff, I can still chime in, I'm sure.
You should mute your audio. Because
I do.
The Montreal Canadiens are a better team than the Boston Bruins.
You think I'm a Bruins fan?
I don't know what fucking fan you are. I'm a Colorado Avalanche fan. What are you a fan of? I don't know. Oh, I know it would really piss you off. Are you a Leafs fan? How about a Pittsburgh Penguins fan?
You do not mention the city of Pittsburgh and its sports teams around me ever again.
What, you don't like the Steelers? I thought you loved the Steelers.
I will murder you.
You like Oakland Raiders?
I don't like the Raiders. The Raiders or whatever.
Okay. We got Casey on my side. Casey even pronounces it roof, and he's from the south.
I'm also on your side, brother.
I'm sorry for stereotyping the south. Apparently, they don't all call it rough. Because, that just sounds like different words or a dog barking. So, apes go for this puck, which, if that's a mid-viper, that kind of counters puck, doesn't it? I guess it doesn't kill it, but it beats it in lane. Then they go for Luna for their hard carry. said they counter puck with TA, off lane Enchantress, and safe lane Viper.
I had to stop eating. Very sad.
I believe the only other team to pick safe lane Viper was EG, and I think they got gobsmacked in that game, didn't they?
I have not watched as much of the majors as I want. I'm either sleeping or working during it, so yeah. I've missed most of the major games so far.
I've seen a few. I haven't seen most of them as well, but yeah, safe lane Viper into DK.
You had to take your pick of the two drafts here. Which one do you prefer?
I'm gonna go with Nexty. I think the Apes are reliant on their DK and Puck kind of defending towers for the first 20 minutes while Luna farms up what I'm assuming to be a Mask of Madness Manta. However, I think that's kind of just countered entirely by the fact that the enemy has a Viper, and DK is not going to have a fun time with that. With this TA, I'm assuming she's going to go Deso first, maybe Dragonlance Deso, just to be able to hit towers. You'll have a creep with the Enchantress, and you'll have a Viper, and they're just going to run at towers, and I don't think there's anything that Dire can do to stop that. However, if this game goes to like 35 minutes, I think Dire just wins. Because they have a Luna, and there isn't really a counter to like a Luna with Butterfly Manta and Satanic or Scotty, or both. Which, it's very realistic for Luna to be able to farm that in that time, but I don't know how much space she's going to have with how fast the Dire can just run at them.
Alright, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of this Nexty versus Apesimps series. Nexty won game number 1. They're looking to finish off the perfect start to the season with that 4th win. They go to 4-0. Meanwhile, for Apesimps, they are 3-2, looking at the fall to 500. So for both teams who are trying to climb into that playoff sort of picture, they do need to win these games. Though it is very early in the season, there are plenty of games to lose. On the flip side, plenty of games to win. I am Badger, and as always, when possible, I am joined by the Artorius. Actually, I will not be joined by you tomorrow. That'll be. I'm not sure if I'm at creative liberty to say who I'm casting with tomorrow yet, but I'm very excited for it. Let's put it that way. So
we can give a hint and say they're a previous Lads player.
Lads player and then some, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Fun though, will go down there to Treeheart and has been run after about 15 seconds. Eventually ended up dying, was isolated there in the Dazzle. Gave DOS a couple creeps for free, but was still a first blood there on that Nyx assassin. This is a rough lane though for Breezy R. This is a traditionally the worst matchup for Puck in the game. This TA matchup, so it's a rough time there.
I think that's the other reason why I favor Radiant's draft a little bit better, is they have this early game draft, but it, as Dazzle's courier, takes some weird pathing and ends up dying.
Yeah, it's a sad
however, not only do they have the early game strat, they also have 3 winning lanes. In theory, all 3 of these lanes should probably win.
It's never a good start to the game where you're losing all 3 lanes. Even losing 2 lanes.
Yeah, they might not win top, but they'll at least draw it. And TA should beat Puck no problem. And Viper should beat DK no problem. You see Skater just harassing him, clicking him from a mile away. Doesn't matter. There's just a Warlock keeping him constantly.
Wait, did they not ticket this game?
It looked like it was ticketed in the lobby, so unless they unticketed it.
Because the thing is, all the players are not tagged up properly nickname-wise at all. I'm like, wait, why is there Wonder Boy and Brutal trading in the bottom lane? It's like, ah, shit.
In the lobby settings before the game started, I actually looked at it because people keep yelling at me that these games aren't ticketed and saying, but Artorius was in the lobby. And it's like, well, it's not my job to ticket the lobby. I didn't make it. However, I am 90% certain this one was ticketed. Actually, I'm going to look at your VOD right now. Because I am pretty positive that was ticketed.
We still have bottom lane for Dire. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Levi and Vix. They're forcing out a lot of regen there, so that's good to see.
Ticketed. It was ticketed in the settings menu, like looking at the lobby, it was ticketed.
Alright then.
So, if it's not ticketed, I'm not going to punish Das's team. Just gonna say that now, because he did ticket it. If it's fucked up, then that's on the Dota client.
Maybe you need to host the lobbies for sure next time, you know? Make sure it's
No,
good.
because I'll forget to ticket it.
Maybe if you remember to ticket it, you'll remember to ticket it then.
That's not my job. My job is to say, you didn't ticket your lobby, you get a draft penalty.
You're so irresponsible.
It was ticketed though, I checked the log. So... if the game ends and it is not ticketed, we can blame the Dota client on that one.
I'm still blaming you on this one.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna go into the lad's Discord and say, at Artorius, this is your fault, you bagged milk, motherfucker. That is what I'm going to do.
You know, I'm just gonna do the classic at Artorius, fuck you. Just no reasoning.
I might do that actually. I mean, maybe I might do that. We'll find out later.
Leave
Skater though, he's a good TP there. But he's not enough to get away there. He ends up dying there to Levi and Vix. Got too much damage there from that poison attack. We're seeing a bit more all-chat lines this game too. Not sure if the last game ended up affecting that one, but there's a bit more all-chat lines coming out this time from Nexty.
Some very weird pathing from Dire's top lane couriers recently.
I thought it was it's a beta game, you know. Games in beta.
Ran right at. I think that one was just mismicroed because it ran by DOS at Noah.
He's fine. They tried to kill him, but they used the only TP cancel they had, that Lucent Beam, a bit early. Bit of a not sure if to kill him out using it, but regardless, Treehard's now top lane once again with Noah.
I think he had to use it to get in range of the Enchantress, so it wasn't a terrible idea.
So I guess there's no winning play there.
Yeah. Do the Moonglaive bounces reactivate Poison Touch?
I don't think so, but I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't tell you. I know Moonglaives don't always apply as auto attacks in every situation. I'm assuming it's like coded as auto attacks, but we are seeing Fun and Treehard trade though. Poison Touch is there, so Treehard might just go down, but never mind. They will kill Fun first. Treehard will not tick down to that Poison Touch. So he will get unless Breezy R gets him. Yeah, he will get the kill. There is a support trade for support trade. Both mid laners getting involved in that one, and ultimately now both these supports are in the grave. Though now Skater's being run at mid lane kind of by Ned. But with Breezy R having a haste rune, there's no significant pursuing going on.
Well, I have now been pinged.
They're seeing Noah get run at top lane though. They are still filling him there with that poison touch. Need a little bit more damage. Dawson's Lucent Beam in one, and well, the kill ends up going there to Mr. Jason Fun over there. So top lane not going as badly as people may have thought earlier. Luna leading Noah on CS right now, and meanwhile we're seeing Fun and Treehard doing a sentry trade. Though the Dire one is still alive, it actually is blocking the Ancients. Treehard still running out. Oh god, Melt Strike from TA. Simply too much damage, though. The Ancients, which were being... Okay, there's the D word. I want a like a little number in the top right of my screen of how many sentry wards are being committed in like this exact little area of the map right now. Has to be a large amount. Just has to be.
Yeah. Although, you should look at the CS charts of the 2 mid laners compared to everybody else in the game.
Yeah, you're seeing TA 69-7, but Puck somehow keeping up, 63-8. It's a good job there at Breezy are keeping up on that one.
Puck actually goes and gets his own D ward of a cliff ward in the Radiant jungle. Don't see that one every day.
Breezy R is having a good game so far.
And we now see the classic Luna play, running into the jungle. Actually gives the pause 4 skater. Actually, is he playing pause 4? I know he laned pause 4, but he has the wards on him here.
As that happened, we saw Ned and Triarch go on to Breezy R mid lane. Coil was committed by Breezy R, but it was not enough to save him. Simply too much damage. As that happens, though, bot lane, we're seeing a 2-on-2 go on. Fun went down. Meanwhile, we're seeing DK and Viper. They are trading. Warlock in the area, but he's low on HP. Puts a heal onto Vix, but in comes Dragontail. Now we're seeing DK very low, Viper very low. Both still alive for now. Now Viper goes down. Levi is running at Karan, but cannot get in range to put another Shadow Word on him. So Karan will simply heal up with that Sal. There's even a heal from Fun if they want to use it. So Karan there completely fine on that DK.
So we actually didn't find out about this until a pub before our series, but apparently Dragon's Tail actually does damage.
Yeah, it's not very much, but it is some damage. And now, once again, Dragon's Tail is there, plus that Meteor Hammer, and Levi will go down there. But now, here in comes Treeheart, in comes Vix. But there is no Viper Strike. Now we're seeing a TP away from DK, but now he's impaled, knows TP'd in, has that impetus hits. Grave is there from Fun, but it's only delaying the inevitable, and Fun will go down as well to Noah on the left side of the fight, so ends up being a little microcosm 2v1, but as that happens, Puck, TA once again in the trade. Breezy R, though, is committed under that tower, has that phase shift, has orb, leads to orb, and will end up surviving for now, though Ned still wants that kill. Breezy R's taking a lot of damage, but will be A-okay, I think. Yeah, will be A-okay. And looking over at Hero Net Worth, nothing too shocking in that one. TA number 1 by a bit of a country mile right now, with Puck and Luna not too far behind. Seeing Breezy R as the Coil Levi, but it will end up turning into a kill perhaps. Silence is there, cancel that Chaotic Offering, and Levi wanted a solo kill there onto Breezy R, but couldn't not get it. As happens, bottom lane, Dragontail is there on Viper. Noah runs in, looking to get some damage there on Karan. Viper Strike is there. Fun is trading all the Poison Touch. In comes Skater as Laguna there onto Vix. Vix goes down, and LSA is now there on Treeheart as Noah looks to kill Fun. Noah will kill Fun there with that last impetus attack, and I think that's it for the fight.
I think Noah has to be careful here. There is Dragontail and Meteor Hammer, but he does have Treeheart backing him up.
Never mind. Morse coming.
With very low health.
He's gotta earn though, so he just earns himself and he ends up being fine.
I think the Dire Observer word spots Nyx going in Viz there.
Probably did, yeah.
Oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm just watching Treeheart there, and I'm like, dude, block the camp, block the camp, block the camp.
Your internal monologue is a monologue of evil.
Block the camp with your body, do it.
Evil.
Breezy might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Impale is there, but he is still fine for now, but there actually is no orb for 2 more seconds. He has a bottle, he has a wand, he has an orb, and a phase shift. He'll end up being fine, unless somehow he ticks down to that Fatal Bonds, but I don't think he will. He will not.
You know, something that seems extremely overpowered, but I haven't seen a lot of, is Lena Shard. AoE Laguna Blade, and nobody buys it. It's 1400 gold.
It increases the cast range too, so it's nice.
Like, I guess it's not AoE, it's more like a side blades. But like, come on. If you can hit multiple people with one Laguna Blade for 1400 gold, why aren't you buying that?
Fun is a bit caught out here. Breezy Art's on the way though, has Coil lose it onto 2, but it will not save Fun. Now in comes Chaotic Offering there onto 2. Dazzle finally goes down, but now Vix tanks Laguna, but is still not dead. In comes Karan, has Dragontail, down goes Vix, but it's a trade for Breezy R. Now DK taking so much damage, has Meteor Hammer, cannot get off in time, and it's a 3-for-1 trade. in favor of Nexty, and they now head for DOS. He's slowed there by Ned. Is there more? Perhaps. Another trap is there. Impale is up from Treehard. Will hit it on DOS. DOS will go down. It's a 4-1 trade, and they will parlay that one into a mid-tier 1 tower as well.
Yeah, DOS got a little bit greedy there. Realized the fight was over, but he thought he could just get the mid-wave, and ends up getting caught by TA traps. I'm surprised that Dire actually engaged on that fight. They dropped Rock on the Dazzle, and I thought they would just disengage, but they turned around and tried to go back in. And it did not work out for them.
Alright then, that is so far a good situation for Nexty. They are at the lead, though it is not a very large lead. If you're Nexty, how do you take this lead and bring it into, say, complete map control?
Well, your TA is fat. Like, she almost has this Desto done at 14 minutes when she already built the Dragonlance. There's a Dragonlance on Viper, but he's actually kind of under-leveled and under-farmed for a carry. But that's... I'd assume that'd be typical of a Viper carry. I think he's just not quite tanky enough. But what they need to do is they need to just like enchant a large creep. They would probably like rock up for it, but you can just find a pick off with Nyx and just kind of run down the lane with the rest of your heroes and just start taking towers, taking map control. Like, you're very strong, and I think they should be playing according to that. Right now, this Luna hasn't really been touched. She's 1,300 gold above your carry, and she's getting closer to a Manta. And once she has that Manta, you're gonna have the same problem as you had last game.
Yeah, Breezy after that very sad engagement just slowly died to Ned. Ned will look for more as well with that Death, so he's a slow there onto Karan. But it's a lot of situations where I was like, I can probably interrupt you, but I just don't care. It's extremely obvious what's about to happen to Breezy R. It's a very sad tale if you're a Puck fan. It's like this TA hero is going to just slowly kill him, and he slowly killed him. But Dire are smoking. They are looking to get into a Roshan pit now. They have some stuns. They have a meter hammer. Stun is there. LZ actually hits onto 2. Now they're looking for perhaps this TA, but TA is still fine. Meanwhile, DK is taking a lot of damage. Grave is there from Fawn. Meter hammer is dropped. Only hits on Vix, but they can kill Vix is huge. Chaotic offering hits on 3. Dosto has the Eclipse, the 1-for-1 so far. Vix for Karan. Now headed for Dos. Dos is very low. Dos goes down. LSA misses this time. 4 heroes from Radiant still alive. Diva though very low. Ned's back into Roshan, but hits the Roshan once again. And Dire appear not to be aware of this, actually. They think they left. But the Aegis easily goes there to Ned, and now it's time to run away from the mid lane. Very scary TA.
I think they knew they were in there. They just kind of gave up on it. Obviously, Lina, Dazzle, and Puck can't really get rid of refraction charges, so that TA just kind of unkillable in that scenario.
Might even go on top lane now. Oh wait, never mind. He's not a meteor hammer. Though he is still being slowed by Noah. Now strikes up into... But he actually will not commit into that one. Ooh, the Sideblade was beautiful, but not damage.
Sideblades is pure damage too, so if he hits creeps into the DK, DK needs to be very careful, because that 26 armor will not save you.
Alright, they're committing Dragon Form. They want to defend this. Radiant are still sieging with the Ancient Siege unit and the Templar Assassin. They have Treehard on the way, has that mana burn. We'll commit it onto Karan. They have a hasted Vix head over on Viper as well, but the Glyph actually slows that push down a bit.
Yeah, I think they just want to waste time. As you see, Breezy's cutting waves again. DOS is going to do the same once he picks up this Manta. Actually looking to push the mid tower. However, Triad's wrapping on DK top.
Yeah, the Impale is up, mana burn is there. They're hitting with the Impetus. Now in comes Ned, has that monster. He's trying to TP, but that is a very ambitious TP. Does not pay off, though. Apes do get the mid T1 tower for it. They're once again TPing back, but the high ground is not being pushed anyways. Oh. Jesus.
DOS now has enough mana for this Manta style. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of split pushing from Puck and these Manta illusions.
We saw it a lot last game where they were constantly split pushing in these lanes, and I expect the exact same thing again.
Yeah, this is how... Well, that's kind of the draft they went for last game with Brood, in a sense. That's kind of what Brood wants to do. However, this game is kind of what they have to do. They didn't really draft to do it, but it's what the game has come to. Just the Radiant's early game draft is so strong. And this Luna can become almost unkillable, but you need to get to that point. That was actually Holy Locket killed on Courier. That's pretty huge.
As it happens, though, we see Ned headed onto Skater, though Skater does not go down there. Though, Fun certainly will. The Impale hit was there. There was a Vendetta hit, obviously, so... Dazzle, very dead.
However, this bot tier 2 should go down. DOS scouting with his illusions to make sure he isn't getting TP'd on.
That's good. I mean, obviously, he can cover everything, as probably could have TP'd in here, but that's very good micro there from DOS to be aware of that play. They're seeing Radiant to go for the 5-man smoke. They're headed to DOS, so they know DOS is in the area. The question is, does DOS know it's coming? He puts out the illusions. Actually, backing to the right, though, the smoke pop goes on Levi, who's basically the only hero who can not turn that into a kill, so... Gee, could he have chaotic offering them there?
Maybe, but they didn't have a follow-up TP cancel. Treehard wasn't close enough. And Viper didn't have his... I don't think he had his Atos yet. He might have had his Atos.
Yeah, he got it recently, for sure. I mean, I'm not sure how recently, but it's definitely recently.
I think Enchantress was the next closest. And all he could have done is thrown damage at him.
So DOS barely escaping punishment there from the side of Nexty, but the tier 2 tower, not so lucky. It's stationary and also now deceased.
And Radiant are probably not going to go high ground with this.
They don't have many creeps, but... Apparently they don't need creeps. Ned is hitting, has that long attack range thanks to that Dragon Lance. Treeheart actually starts setting up on the high ground. He is that confident where Dire are. Look at the Radiant Vision. They don't see that much, but... Apparently they don't need to see much. LSA was there on 2. Good LSA from Skater, but... Tier 3 tower is already dead, and... Now, in comes Karan, is TP'd in, has that Breathe Cloud to reduce the damage, but apparently does not matter that much. Ned and Vix are still hitting. Though now in comes Breezy R, has silence onto 4. But the retreat, it's now. Coil was not used, and well.
That is Aegis reclaimed.
Question is, can they kill DOS this time? He's once again farming where he probably shouldn't be farming, but this time he's well away. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna run away. They're TP'd away. I'm not gonna die.
Should have farmed the big camp.
That feels really risky, man. It's...
This is NA. You farm that big camp. That's what every NA carry player would do.
I don't think I would farm that camp. That just seems too risky.
You know, the true NA carry player.
That coil's there on Levi. It was a one-man coil of a Levi. Yeah, very certainly. It even pops the coil. Meanwhile, we're seeing a Dragon Tail there on Treeheart, though Treeheart carapace the Dragon Tail. Actually, Levi's still alive. So they've killed nobody just yet. Skater finally finishes Levi. Meanwhile, we're seeing Breezy R blinks away from Vix and company, and ultimately, Warlock dies.
It's a bit of an awkward fight. Oh, they're going back
again. They want to get Ned. It's a big kill if they can get it. Coil is not up, though, and well, Karan, very low, only saved by Grave, missed that meter hammer. Meanwhile, Laguna is there onto Treeheart, a little bit out of the trade for Karan and for Fun. Now we're seeing Clips. It's used. It's damaging Vix. The Vix is still alive. Now we're seeing LSA once again there on 2, but in comes Stabs in the backlines looking for Skater. Skater goes down. Atos now there. Onto the Puck. Puck goes still alive. No time to hit him, but he blinks away in time. To the side, though. And on Breezy R, tries to juke, but jukes right into Ned. Yules is used by Breezy R. Can he escape? Trap is there. Slows Breezy R, but does not damage him. And, well, that's just Puck gameplay sometimes. You just don't die. Good escape there, Breezy R.
It ends up being a lot of space for DOS, but that was a very weird fight. They use Coil on the Warlock, but then for some reason, Karan doesn't follow up on that. He tries to find something else. And then now that they've blown all their spells, they then try to jump a TA. And that doesn't end very well.
It feels like they thought the Warlock was dead, and it turns out the Warlock wasn't dead, and they just got a little bit too big for their britches, and they don't get what they're looking for.
I think the one hero on the map that's really capable of killing TA reliably is DOS. And if you don't want to bring him to the fights, you should just avoid TA. Like, if you see her, just run away in a straight line to your fountain.
Alright, they head on in over to Levi. This time, Levi, oh, they throw the kitchen sink at him. Laguna's there. Breathe Fire's there. Warlock's certainly no longer there. And can they get more? Viper Strike's there on Breezy. They try to hit onto Treeheart as well, but Fun might pay for that one. Coil's there on 2-3. Good 3-man Coil, but Breezy are taking a lot of damage. He pops the Coil there on Treeheart. Karan's still trading, but Karan's taking a lot of damage, and will go down there to Ned. Now they're looking for more Fun. Already used Grave. It's still on cooldown. Can they kill him? And Atos is there, and Dazzle very dead. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor, though. Breezyar comes in looking for a Treeheart, gets the kill there on Nyx, but now can he escape on the puck? As that happens, Ned runs down, skated around Lena. Lena's certainly dead. Now Breezyar dotted that impetus, trying to run away there. Slow is up if he can get in range. Cannot get in range on Breezyar. Tia Trap, not used actually. Might have been what they needed to kill that puck. Chaotic Offering committed! Can he blink away in time? He blinks to the side, but he gets the Yules off. Can he jaunt? He jaunts! He TPs! Miraculous escape by Breezy R!
Dire's courier has been killed.
Wow.
I need to be careful. TA has now picked up a BKB. Bit of an awkward fight. DOS had nowhere to TP into, so he just kept farming and split pushing waves. Again, they blow up the Warlock, and then they just choose to fight after the fact. It's still in a 4v4, because obviously DOS is not there. However, this time they smoke up with DOS, with his recent pickup of the Eye of Scotty. They might find TA!
You see Ned here. He's stunned, but Dragon Tail Meter Hammer comes in, and he gets the BKB off in time, should be fine. He didn't send it over to Karan. Karan's taking a lot of damage, but as is a Noah. Noah very low. Karan very low. Grave is there onto Karan. Now there's something Coil on 2 as well. Treeheart, though, is stunned by Skater. Cannot get a stun off in time. The Luna's there on Treeheart. Treeheart goes down, and somehow only Nyx dies in that entire engagement. We saw another good Grave there by Fun on Dazzle, and now Dire head into Roshan pit. They are as 5 currently in Radiance. Breezyar goes into 4. Tries to orb away. This time he might not be able to escape. He's still in the run. Meanwhile, Dragon Tail is there onto Vix. Vix might go down, and now Radiant turned back to Vix. Vix down to half HP. He's being gone onto BKBs. Thunder Strike there onto the DK, but DK once again is graved. But DK should go down this time. Breezyar looks to avenge his man DK, but cannot do that, and I guess Dire do not get the Roshan after all, and
These are some pretty crazy and hard to follow fights.
Are you surprised at all that the Dire just didn't commit the Roshan there, or is that just me?
I think that's the correct choice. There's a BKB on TA, which was used in an attempt to kill DK after she got gone on, and then Viper also had a BKB, which did get used but still died. And I think the Dire made the correct choice of, okay, DK's dead, but we got a BKB charge and a Viper kill out of it. That's just back. I think the Dire are playing this perfectly. They're split pushing waves. Some of their fights that they're taking are a little bit awkward, but others are perfectly fine. They all have the right idea. They need Luna to hit a power spike, and they just want to survive Radiant's power spike.
Roshan, though, this time we'll go to the Radiance. Shard will head on over to Ned as well, so we'll get that the silence on the... never mind, it goes to Vix instead, so we'll get that the minus armor and the building damage for that poison attack there on Viper.
Yeah, I think they kind of need that. Obviously, TA doesn't want to be the one sieging a high ground, so you're kind of reliant on somebody else to do it. And as hard as Noah is to kill, he is relatively squishy if he doesn't get Nature's Attendance off. and he doesn't do a lot of damage to towers. So you're kind of reliant on this Viper to do it, and obviously he doesn't do a lot of damage to towers unless he hits them with poison attack.
Yeah, we're at the point now where it's just it's a very even back and forth Dota game, and I mean, one mistake from either team is really all what it takes now.
Actually, blow DK for him to take this top tower while Breeziar is trying to make space in the bot lane. Might get found here.
Done a very good job escaping so far, and well, looks like he'll escape again. This man is just playing a fantastic puck game so far, and
It's just the weirdest looking minimap right now. There's just like 10 heroes in all over the map. None of them are grouped.
I guess they're not in like the top left corner, but other than that, they're everywhere.
Like, DK is just sieging the high ground. Like, what is happening right now? The Radiant have the Aegis. However, DOS might get found here by Treehard.
Alright, in comes Treehard, sees both Breeziar. They will choose to go on Breeziar. They'll puck's a huge kill if they can get a chaotic offering committed. They do not want Breeziar to escape. He will not this time.
DK has now sieging the tower again because of that.
Yeah, he dropped the meter hammer on the literal T3 tower and manages to get away from that one, so that's...
Just gets away with using a full duration Elder Dragon form and taking 1.5 towers. All they get out of it is a puck kill, and then they have to go back and deal with their waves.
Yeah, that's a good win there for Karan. I mean, that's a lot of space created on that situation. Now this death in Breeziar is going to end up being inconsequential because Radiant cannot punish it in time. Look at this, the Aegis only has half the duration left as well, so they're going to start running out of time on that soon.
Luna has now purchased, bought out, so no buyback, but has purchased a BKB. So this next fight for the Radiant should be really hard despite Aegis. And Viper actually getting gone on.
As is the Dazzle. Dazzle probably just dead. Meanwhile, though Vix has been the Guna Blade. He will go down there on Vix. As that happens, everyone Fun actually survives there on Dazzle. Now in comes Karam, looks for Ned, has Meter Hammer, Elsa comes in as well. TA might just lose that Aegis, and will. Nexty are collapsing right now. Now Ned blinks away, but there is no escape. The Scotty Slow is there, the LSA is there, and if you are Nexty, you may have this game like Quill. Once again, they're on two. It's on to Treehard and onto Noah. It does not snap just yet, and they will use there onto Karam, but it's broken there. Now Treehard will go down soon. Noah's been stunned by LSA as well. Will probably go down. Yeah, he'll go down. That's 4 kills. Everybody but the 5 Warlock for Apesimps. My lord.
Yeah. For some reason, Radiant have Aegis. They're getting sick and tired of these split pushes. So they split the push, and Dire pick them off on one side of the map, come back and finish off the rest of their team in the mid lane. Just superior map movements.
Alright, they go in now looking for Vix. Vix taking a lot of damage. He does have BKB up, does not commit it. He cheeses, but the cheese is to no effect. Now Viper buys back, but this is already a disaster so far. The high ground's taken so much damage. The tier 3 is dead, the racks are low. Noah's trying to go in and do damage to Karan and use that Fatal Bonds to do damage to everybody, but there's no kills just yet, and if you're inside of Nexty, your Dota game's collapsed in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's now an 11k gold lead for the Dire. Skater is somehow out farming Karan on the DK. This man is getting big. He's going for a BKB, and very soon he will be a very big problem. DK is fulfilling his role of being a blink stun. Just has this casual plate mail and is looking to pick up a BKB himself. Luna almost has the butterfly, and that will be very scary. They don't have any ways to deal with evasion other than magic damage. However, he has a BKB. However, the smoke dank might just turn that around.
Yeah, they will pop it on DOS, Atos. Oh, good Banter there from DOS. His BKB as well. Cut offering is there, onto 2. They need to get both though. Fun will go down, but can they get DOS? Slow is there. They're running out with the bullet, but can they get the Luna? But it's an LSA from Skater. DOS will live, and They found the big Luna, but they could not kill her, and
Huge. You didn't even have to use BKB for that. He still keeps this 8-second BKB, and Radiant can't get anything out of that because you can't run high ground into a BKB Luna. And it's very difficult when all of your waves are dead.
it's a situation now where it's
Freeze even blinking for the courier.
Alright, they're headed bottom. They're near the puck. Treehard might look for the jump here. TP. It's actually canceled by Treehard. Saw the TP there, but now in comes Karan. Stuns up on a Treehard. In comes the hammer. And they kill Nyx.
That was ballsy because you have no idea where those Radiant heroes are. None of them were showing.
And they're like, hey, this is the... I don't know why Dire apparently is playing this very risk-heavy Dota, and it's paying off right now.
Yeah, they're just completely outmaneuvering Nexty. Like, Nexty had a very clear plan with their draft, and it kind of looks like it did not work. Just unable to crack the high ground. They take that tower, but they just weren't able to get anything significant before this Luna came online.
Yeah, it worked very well until the exact moment where it didn't, and from that point forward, this game's been very difficult to win. And once that they had Vix and Ned simultaneously die, game's pretty very hard to win.
Over on the flip side, DOS hasn't had buyback this entire game, so if they ever do catch and kill him, they could very well get 1 or 2 lanes of rags just with this Luna being dead. Smoke's probably going to get popped by Treehard here.
He will pop the one on Skater, but in comes Coil there. Only onto one. LSA actually misses because the coil is broken, but Dust is there, and well... Yeah, Treehard's dead. He does a buyback, but he's only dead for 45. We're seeing now Ned is pushing in the top lane, perhaps looking to crack high ground there. Buyback comes from Treehard. Atos is there. Onto Karan. Now Doss is TPing back. Dire, they are retreating. And Ned recognizes, hey, I see a TP. Let's run away. They may attempt to chase, but it will be a very clean retreat for Apesimps. That's one thing I've noticed. They do a lot of these very clean retreats. A lot of lesser teams and lads do not retreat cleanly, but they're retreating very cleanly in all their games I've watched.
Well, there isn't really any catch. They got an Atos to catch you. And the fact that the last person the first person that the Radiant could have caught, the last person retreating from the Dire was Puck.
Alright, we see a Hex there onto Treehard, and this actually will be a dieback on the next. We're seeing a Yule's on Levi as well. LSA is there, and well, that's a very, very dead Warlock.
Very good ward placement here. This was one of the old wards that people stopped placing because of the map changes, but it's still a very good ward. Obviously not seen by this sentry.
I will give that an exclamation mark. Very good ward. Alright, it's once again high ground time. DK is there, has that Meteor Hammer, and well, Ranger Axe not long for life. Melee is not long for life either. Will be a full Ranger Axe mid, but as that happens, Doss is pushing in the top wave. They will look for 2 sets, and as that happens, Ned is in the bottom lane looking for Axe there, but Skater is a defender. Yules is used. Now in come help. Fun is there, has that Hex. They're trying to get the TA meanwhile at the high grounds. They're still pushing. Doss has gotten it. Now back to Ned. He gets away with the Aghanims on TA. Now Coil's there on 2. Vix is trying to fight. He's in the BK, but he's not able to tank that enough. We're seeing Catacomb offering there on 2-2. Nobody's died yet, but Noah's dead, and Vix is very low. Now we're seeing a Dragon Tail there on Ned. Ned has BK, but he cannot get off in time. It appears he gets off in time. He's trying to fight. He's trying to get onto Doss, but Doss is just so tanky. You'll have the Karan though. Karan though not has tanky. Will die in the DK, and now Reezy actually ends up dying to him. Oh, never mind, he doesn't!
They just didn't hit him!
A fantastic carapace by Treehard, but wasted there by Nexty.
They might turn back on Ned.
And now they will turn on to Ned. BKB's on cooldown. Breeziar is there, Skater is there, LSA is there, and the Laguna destroys Ned. And now Treehard has a stun there onto Breeziar. Breeziar goes down to that mana burn damage now. Doss goes on to Vix. Vix, he's hexed, he's dead. And they will also head over to Levi. Glimmer was used, but if you're Nexty, is there a play that is not just hope the enemy team throws?
You gotta find this puck. Breezy is playing out of his mind. I don't know how he's doing it. He's playing with fire and just not getting punished. Nyx has been on him all game, and there's just not been any follow-up. And finally, Treeheart just kills him by himself with 2 excellent carapaces. You gotta get rid of the puck. Obviously, you need your Viper or your TA to be able to kill DOS. And TA is itemizing for that. But it's going to be hard. He even has an Aegis now. They have a good team fight, relatively, if they have Chaotic offering up. But their offlaner's an inch. So they kind of went in for this hard and early push trap, and it didn't work, and now they need to find a pick off. I don't think they can just let the Dire walk up and siege this high ground.
Yeah, they have these very good high ground siegers in the Luna and the DK. It's just we're seeing Ned play across the map, but it's hard.
Yeah, he has the right idea. He has the Ags. He can split push, no problem. But they need to take a fight outside of their base. It's not gonna end well if it's inside.
Alright, we were at what could be the ultimate high ground defense for the side of Nexty. Manta is used by DOS. He's actually out of mana, though. They already got 2/3 of the tier 3 tower. We have been seeing Noah throughout this game enchant the Luna illusions, which has been nice, but there's only so much one illusion can do.
Illusions don't apply to Scotty. I did not know that.
Alright, Atos is there on DOS. DOS, though, was glimmered by Fun. Now in comes Breezy R, putting in a silence onto 3, actually. I think about 4, actually, but of course he's fine on puck, has been all game. Now, Dragon Form is used by Karan, goes in, stunts in onto Vix. Can they kill Vix? Glimmer is there. Now in comes on silence on the 4. Pepper Strike is dealing Karan, but Karan's in BKB. So is Vix. Coils their backlines onto 2. Kickoff is there onto 4. But nobody in Dire is dying this yet. DOS may lose his Aegis. Meter Hammer's once again there on Vix. The Luna is used. Vix goes down. He has buyback. He will buy back. Now DOS still alive somehow. We're seeing Breezy R at the fountain. Not even dead. And now Atos once again used. DOS still alive though. He just has not gone down. Now once again Dragon Tail's there onto Ned. Ned though still alive. So is everybody. DOS got a cheese there I believe. Or she used Satanic actually. He's full HP once again. Treeheart goes down, has no buyback. Once they have a stun there, onto Ned. Ned gets the Refresher Laguna bladed and will actually kill Skater, but will still die on TA, and TA has no buyback. The GG will be called.
They, in theory, had a 3-second CD Shallow Grave there to just constantly put on Luna.
And that was That was a real Dota 2 game. That was... I feel like Nexty were very close to winning this game for a while, but it did not matter in the very end.
I think there's one obvious MVP, despite...
Yeah, Breezy R.
Yeah, despite everyone on the Dire playing very well, Skater somehow the 3rd most farmed member on his team, like 4th in the game, and yeah, 4th in the game.
The 5-player with number 4 in net worth this game.
Yeah, the insane what you call it, Graves and healing coming out from Dazzle. You have the Blink stuns from DK. You have DOS who played the game perfectly, but Breezy R just made that game happen.
I think Fawn and Dazzle had a very, very good game as well. A lot of very well-timed Graves in the mid-game. But
Yeah,
it's hard not to give the MVP to Breezy R. That was a fantastic puck game.
Yeah, his map movements were just insane. Like, you could tell the Radiant were getting frustrated with how this puck was playing. Did it last game too as Brood, just not as mobile of a hero.
All right.
I don't think
Skater was the 5 player of that game. I think he was the 4 technically.
But he is the 5 player. I don't care that he played 4. He's the 5 player. As it matters in the variant.
Fun, but all the words.
So the draft sheet says Skater 5, sure. I think both these teams, though, are definitely teams in competition to win this Group A. This is a very competitive Group A, actually, between, obviously, Nexty, Apesimps, Nearly Tilted. If Tacos mean, if you guys keep your revival, you guys are still in that mix, too. So it's a very competitive Group A right now.
Bad.
It's fun to see. But do you have any final analysis for this particular Dota 2 game?
One team goes early game draft, doesn't win early game, other team wins.
It's very, very, very verbose, sir. Thank you. Do you have any final words, shout-outs, calls to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Badger Pablo?
I won't meme this time, but thank you, Badger, for doing a double hitter cast.
I'm just here to bring casting to the people. Big fan of doing this. It was actually a fun time to do this. You know, it was not as exhausting as I would have thought, which is a good thing because I'm hoping one day to obviously make it on the bigger channels, right? And a lot of those channels run like one caster for 2, 3, sometimes 4 straight like 2-game series. Though it's good to build up that stamina, you know. Fun time. Honestly, thank you, Artorius, for joining me tonight. Let me just double check when I'm casting next, so I can say it real fast. Let's see. Let's go to schedule series. So my next cast will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can convert that to your own time zone. That will be Nearly Tilted, the very good Nearly Tilted team, taking on the team you just watched tonight, the Apesimps. Should be potentially the 2 best teams in Group A playing each other. I'll be joined by a very special co-commentator. I have not fully confirmed it, but we have both agreed to it, and let's put it this way, you're going to enjoy this man very much. On the flip side, we have Saturday as well, Toxic Tacos, who had a very good showing tonight in the first BO2 that I casted, taking on Nearly Tilted. Another very important 2-game melee for the Group A standings. My name is Badger. If you enjoyed my casting, enjoyed the work I put in tonight, feel free to contact me on Discord, Badger number 5713, to have me cast your games, cast your tournaments, and of course, as always, have a great night.